Hello, and welcome to Virtual Investor Conferences. My name is Matt Lateplo, and on behalf of OTC Markets, we're very pleased you have joined us for our next presentation from Sierra Metals, Inc. Please note you can submit questions in the box to the left of the slides. You can also view a company's availability for one-on-one meetings through the Schedule Meetings tab found on the conference platform. At this point, I'm very pleased to welcome Ernesto Balarezo, Chief Executive Officer of Sierra Metals, Inc., which trades on the OTCQX Best Market under the symbol SMTSF and on the TSX under the symbol SMT. Welcome, Ernesto.
Thank you for the time to listen to our story. Sierra Metals, we're copper producers with precious and base metal byproducts. I want to emphasize copper. We are really focused on copper at this point in time. Disclaimer here. We have three assets, two in Mexico and one in Peru. The one in Mexico named Cusi, it's in a divestment process right now. We just put it a couple of months ago in current maintenance. This is a small silver mine. For us, it's more an exploration project than an operations. So we decided to put it in current maintenance, and we're in a process of divesting it. Bolivar, it's our flagship mine in Mexico, and Yauricocha in Peru. I say flagship mine in Mexico because Bolivar is the one producing this year the most EBITDA free cash flow for us. It's really been a game changer for the company, the Bolivar story. I'll tell you more about it in a little bit. We also produce some gold, silver, and lead and zinc. 52 of our production, copper, the green. In the pie chart, you can see the greenish. Why Sierra Metals? Well, we do have an experienced management team and board of directors. We are a mid-tier producer, and we like organic and inorganic growth. We have been dealing with organic growth in 2023, this current year. We'll be approaching the inorganic growth portion of our growth strategy in 2024. Copper producer, as I said, and we're established in two very well-known jurisdictions for us, Peru and Mexico. Our pillars to deliver value: strengthening our current portfolio. This has been the most of the work it has been done in this pillar this 2023. Operational excellence through cost efficiency. Mining is all about costs, and we have really. I'm proud of the job the team has done in Yauricocha and Bolivar to make them as steady producers of cash flow as they are right now. Exploration, our second pillar. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the greenfield package that we have in Mexico and what we are planning on doing with those. Project development, one of the key issues in Bolivar for 2024 is starting the construction of a new tailings dam, one that will last for 10 years for us at least. So we have decided to put in place a project development team, top-notch, world-class, in Mexico. We already finalized with that, and the project has started. Social responsibility. Luckily for us, in Mexico, we don't have communities. We have ejidos, and they are very familiar and friendly to the mining projects. In Peru, we have been in the Yauricocha region for more than 75 years. We are very well known. Most of the people of that communities give some service to the mine, to the Yauricocha mine, and everyone that wants to work at the mine out of the communities has a place there. We offer scholarships, and they really like us, and we have no issues with communities in Peru. Before I go into this slide, let me just tell you that Sierra Metals has been in a sale process for many, many years. This company has been managed to be sold. I have nothing against that, but we are operators. I came in a year ago, actually, today, a year ago, to stop the sale process and to start operating the company. I found out, and I did know this because of my previous life. I come from Hochschild and from Goldfields, always in the operation side. Almost 30 years of experience in operations, mining operations. And I have a clear understanding or belief that sometimes it's better to, in order to change a culture, to bring new people than to try and transform the previous management team. So out of the 5 VPs that I found and 2 general managers, one from Peru and one from Mexico, only one is left, Alberto Calle, the VP of HR. And he was 8 months old when I came in. Everyone else is new to the company. Carlos Garcia, our VP technical, comes from Hochschild also. Felix Guerra, the same. Patricia Cosa comes from Goldfields, VP legal, mining experience in every legal aspects for the last more than 15 years. Pepe Fernandez Baca comes from Anglo, and he used to be he was at the company when I came in, but he didn't have the CFO post. He was in charge of the finance portion of the business only in Peru. So we also have a new general manager in Mexico and so on. So this is a new team focusing on operating our 2 main assets, our 2 assets right now, and I'm very well prepared to continue with the growth. Let me talk a little bit about Yauricocha mine. Yauricocha mine is a copper and zinc mine. The capacity of the mill is 3,600 tons per day. Right now, we are producing around 2,300 tons per day. Why is this? Let me go to the next slide. You can see a dotted red line here. We call it the level 1120. We don't have a permit to mine below the level, this level 1120. We did and we do have a permit to drill, and we have drilled an amazing amount of meters down the 1120 level. What we have found down here is that we have as much and even more mineral than what we had over the last 25 years on top of the 1120 level. What we have left above the 1120 level are few bodies, ore bodies, scattered and very expensive to mine using the cut and fill method. What we have down here are big ore bodies, as we used to have up here, up the 1120, huge ore bodies, and we are going to use the sub-level caving method that is much cheaper, and it's going to increase our capacity. We have already built, we had a permit to do so, the Yauricocha shaft that goes well below this blue line that you see here below the 1120 level. It's a shaft that it's already built and ready to take mineral to get it out. But we didn't have, and we don't still have a permit to mine below the 1120 level. Let me go back one. So that's why we are not getting to full capacity, the 3,600 tons. But we have found an immense amount of resources below the 1120 level. Look at the amount, 25 million. And measure and indicated 14 million tons of resources. So we have plenty of mineral for the next 15 years at least to go on with Yauricocha, and we should be getting this permit. This is the most important thing about Yauricocha before year end. We have been talking to authorities. We have been doing the work, engineering, demonstrating that we are not going to impact where we shouldn't, and we are about to get this permit. So news are coming about that, hopefully before year end. It's going to take us 6 to 9 months to get to a 3,600 ton per day again. So by the end of next year of 2024, we should be already at this capacity. Because some production and costs in Yauricocha, because of what I just told you, look at the production level. Production has come down dramatically in the past 3 years. We are going a little bit over in production. We will be around the 40 million equivalent pounds of copper this year. By the end of next year, we should do a little bit more. But by 2025, we're going to be in the probably 60 million, like the 2021, or close to the 70 million pounds of equivalent copper. So we are on track again. Net revenue, well, you can see how it has come down because of what I explained to you, and all-in sustaining costs the same. Look at how in the last years have been going up because of this scattered mineral and not having these big ore bodies to use the sub-level caving method, but this is coming down. Next year and 2025 should be even better. Now talking about the Bolivar mine, our Bolivar mine in Mexico. Look at if you take a good look at the picture and you can see the greenish on the rocks, that's oxide copper. Everywhere we drill, we find more copper. Bolivar has a 5,000 ton per day mill capacity. But at the beginning of the year, we were at around 2,000 ton per day. With a few tweaks in pumping and ventilation, we were able to take it to 5,000 ton per day. We have, again, here an immense amount of resources, 40 million resources. 40 million tons of resources, measured and indicated 19 million. It's incredible to see underground mining with such amount of resources and measure and indicated resources. It's expensive to get, but we have it. So the next years are a given in production. We are not taking we're not going to produce more of 5,000 ton per day in Bolivar until we get the tailings dam, the new one, in place. That is probably going to take us 2 to 3 years. When we do that, or whenever we have that, we can easily take this mine to 7,500 ton per day. So in a couple of years, we should be announcing that. Right now, we are going to still concentrate in producing at low costs and the tailings dam, the new one. Look at copper equivalent production. It has come down because of lack of ventilation, pumping systems, all sort of operational issues. But look how we have increased in 2023 the production of Bolivar. Look at the net revenues are going to be record high. And the all-in sustaining cost, remember, we haven't been mining at 5,000 tons the full year. This started in May 2023. So costs are coming down because of volume and operational efficiencies as well. But it's going to be even better in 2024, where we'll be the full 12 months at 5,000 tons per day. So this is going to drop dramatically. We're very happy with Bolivar. This is just to show you, this is an ore body we're exploiting in December. A few days from now, we're starting to exploit this. And to have more certainty, we did a couple of twin holes just to have more certainty of this. We were able, with a couple of twin holes, to double the amount of reserves in this ore body that is going to be the December highlight. So what I told you at the beginning, everywhere we drill, we find more and more copper. This is an amazing deposit that we have in Mexico. Talking about our growth potential, this is in Mexico, we have more than 90,000 hectares of mining concessions. Cusi-Huarachi here is the one that we have put it in current maintenance, and Bolivar I just talked about. All the other projects, Soribo, Reina, are projects that we have drilled, most of them, and that we're going to be looking for JVs, partners to start developing this. So this is another growth potential that we have in the company. In a consolidated basis, I can only talk about the 9 months production up to September this year. We, by that date, we had produced 55 million pounds of copper equivalent. So, and we should end up the year in guidance around the 80 million pounds of equivalent copper. You can see down here, we have been doing better in 2023 in every single metal that we produce. So this is good news. The ramp up and the turnaround of the company has started. Consolidated financial performance. Look at the EBITDA numbers up to September. In Yauricocha, 10.6. Yauricocha used to be a mine that produced around $40–50 million EBITDA for us. It's going to be like that again in 2025. 2024 should be better than what we have produced this year, but not as good as 2025 because of the ramp up. It's going to take us 6 to 9 months, as I said, to get to the big ore bodies below the 1120 level. Bolivar is going to finish the year around $45 million EBITDA, an amazing turnaround. So we should be in the, I don't know, $55 million EBITDA numbers by year end. Bank debt, $77 million. We are refinancing these $77 million. We already have signed a letter of intent with one of our current banks. They are going to go through a syndicate loan, and we are going to be refinancing this debt. We already have the terms in writing from them and are much, much better than the ones we have right now, even with 2024 as a holiday period. So this is more news that are coming in the near future. And just a little bit about our market cap right now is around 137. I think today should be, we have been doing very good in the last 2 weeks. We have just started telling the new story of Sierra Metals. Like I said, Sierra Metals has been for sale for many, many years. And today there is a new management team in place, operators. We don't want to sell the company. We want to recover the value for its shareholders and create share value to all the stakeholders in the company. So I think the market is starting to catch up with all this good news, which our aim, and I think it's very possible that we get there, is to take it as the value this company was with the same assets and one losing money in the near future. So that's on presentation, and I do have some Q&A questions that are getting here. So let me go to the first one. They want to know a little. I have it in the screen here. They know, as a new CEO, can you tell us a little more about yourself? Yeah, sure. I come from the operating side of the business. Like I said, I used to work in Hochschild mining, underground mining, precious metals, silver mostly, for 17 years. I was working there. My last position was VPO, Vice President for Operations. Then I moved to Goldfields. In Goldfields, I had the Vice Presidency for the Americas, in charge of all the operations and projects in the Americas. This was an amazing time for me because I had also responsibility as member of the executive committee team. I had some responsibility on the operations side for the operations in Ghana, in Africa, South Africa, and Australia. So it was a beautiful time for me. Not so much for my family, but just for me. So that's my background. And now, if I may add there, why I joined Sierra Metals, because of, I can answer that very quickly, and I have been asked that before, because of the potential to turn around the company with two great assets. That's why I joined Sierra Metals a year ago, and brought with me, and throughout the year, brought with me is not the right way of saying this. More, I have been able, and we have been able to gather an excellent team of operators, experienced managers, vice presidents that want to operate a company and not to sell the company. So this is the new culture surrounding us. Another question here. What are your plans and strategies to creating shareholder value? Well, we have been focusing this 2023 in processes and systems, and efficiently deploying capital, human and financial capital. And the turnaround of the company, it's already here. But we are only getting started. Going forward, we need to grow to create value. And I think we're going to do this in three ways. The operations, the organic growth, Yauricocha, like I said, the 1120 permit that it's coming soon before year end, hopefully, it's going to be a game changer for Yauricocha. We are going to be able to take the mine to 3,600 tons per day. Again, we have an immense amount of resources below the 1120 level. So this is what's coming in Yauricocha. In Bolivar, we are adding resources to our base right now. Like I said, everywhere we put a drill hole, we find new mineralization areas. And we have started the new tailings dam project. With this, we do have a tailings dam available until the end of 2027. So we have enough time to build the tailings dam that is going to allow us to increase production to 7,500 tons per day. I don't know if I said this, but we have most of the equipment to get to the 7,500 tons per day in our warehouses. This was done before my time. I found all this equipment in the company. I think it was a good sales pitch, but it's helping us. I mean, we already have the equipment to take it. All we need is the tailings dam, and we're working on that. Well, that's our organic growth from the operations. Organic growth from exploration, I told you about, and I showed you the slide on more than 90,000 hectares. We have in Peru around 15,000 hectares of exploration as well. So we're going to be looking for JVs and partners so they can partner with us to start developing some of these projects. And M&A, okay, we have two great assets. We're gonna 2024 for us is more stabilizing. They are much stabilized, but we are gonna keep stabilizing, focus on these projects, developing the Yauricocha mine. But what's next? And I think it's time for us, for the team, to start thinking about an acquisition. I think a mid-sized company, base metals, I wouldn't say no to precious metals, but we're in the base scenario right now, in the base arena. So we are starting to tell everyone that we would like a third operation in our portfolio. This can be a merge, this can be a buyout, mid-sized company in our region, in the Americas. So we're going to start looking for this, and it will probably take us 6 months or the full 2024, and it's okay. But we want a third operation. Another question here, as you mentioned, Sierra Metals is clear and exciting turnaround story. What have you and your team done to turn things around at the company? Well, I did mention some of them, ventilation, pumping, operational issues. I think it has been crucial having the deposits to have this leadership team with this new culture. They have been able to surface value across our very, very strong base of assets, Yauricocha and Bolivar. We have been able to generate positive cash flow in both operations. We have been able to increase production in Bolivar. We have been able to lower costs, both in Yauricocha and Bolivar, even though Yauricocha's costs are still high. We have been able to replace everything we have mined, resources, everything we have mined this 2023, we have replaced, and we have more resources than December 31st, 2022. So, and we have started this year, actually a few weeks ago, a 43-101 review by a third party to be able to get it out to the market. Oh, and we have been able to refinance our loan, and most importantly, we have done all this in a safe and responsible manner. Aside from all operational improvements, I see your balance sheet is getting stronger. Oh, thank you for that. Yes, two things here. Well, we were very successful raising capital from shareholders and management. Management participated in a $12 million US private placement that we finished a month ago. Management participated with 10%, around 10% of that amount, and shareholders the rest. And this for me was crucial also. It's a way of our shareholders saying, we believe in you, this team is amazing, keep doing what you're doing, and here is our vote of confidence and our money to get this company in a better path. But we're not done yet. There are a number of other actions underway. Our lenders are seeing this as well, and like I mentioned you before, we are refinancing our debt. So expect in January more good news on this front. And I see one last question in closing. What near-term catalysts should investors expect from the company? Well, like I said, catalysts 1120 level, refinance our debt. The management team is already in place. I already talked a lot about it. Very proud of them. The tailings dam at Bolivar to increase our production. It's crucial as well, and we have started that project of the tailings dam. Exploration projects in Peru and Mexico. I haven't talked about the Peruvian exploration projects, but we have a couple of them very, very promising. So we are going to be very busy, very, very busy. Sorry, I don't have any more time to take any questions, but please, let's keep in touch. If you have any more questions that I haven't addressed, please feel free to contact. The information is on the screen at info@sierrametals.com, and I'll be more than glad personally to answer